Bronze Age hands stacked 42,000 tons of basalt no one can explain. Israelis call it Gilgal Rephaim, the dark wheel of ghosts. From ground level, it looks like nothing, just 5,000 years of gray rubble. Climb higher, and the chaos snaps into a perfect circle. 5 stone rings, one inside the other, 500 feet across. The outer wall alone runs 160 meters around. At its heart sits a dark burial chamber, long since robbed. Nobody knows who raised it, and nobody knows why. It is older than the Great Pyramid of Giza, roughly 5,000 years old and completely unexplained. The wheel hides in the Golan Heights, near the Syrian border. Mount Hermon looms to the north, its peak white with snow. The blue water of Lake Kinneret lies just to the west. For thousands of years, herders walked past it blind. You simply cannot read the shape from the ground. Then came the year 1968, and everything changed. After the Six-Day War, Israel mapped the Golan from the air. The photographs revealed a giant wheel hidden in the rock. Archaeologists stared at the images in silence. Something enormous had been built here, then forgotten for 5,000 years. Real excavation waited until 1988, 20 years later. Yonatan Mizrahi crawled into the central tomb by lamplight. Inside, the chamber had already been stripped bare. Grave robbers had beaten the scientists by thousands of years. Whatever it once held had vanished into the dark. The Golan hides over 3,000 ancient dolmen tombs. But nothing else here matches this 42,000-ton wheel. Archaeologist Mike Freichman returned to dig in 2010. He found no bones, no gold, no burial goods at all. Only 5,000 years of dust and cold silence remained. The emptiness only made the riddle worse. So the builders left almost no clue behind. No writing, no inscription, no name anywhere, just the rock, and the impossible amount of it. Count it all, and you reach roughly 42,000 tons. That is heavier than the entire Eiffel Tower. Every block was carried here by bare human hands. There were no wheels, no carts, no iron in this age. The nearest quarry lies kilometers away across the plateau. Men dragged the basalt for years, one sledge at a time. Some foundation blocks weigh 5 tons each. Moving just one would break a modern work crew. Yet a Stone Age people moved thousands of them. The labor alone would consume decades of a whole village. This was never a fence or a pen for cattle. The sheer effort points at something sacred and strange. Some experts estimate 25,000 working days to raise it. That is 100 strong men laboring across an entire generation. A single drought could have starved the whole crew. A raid or a war could have ended it forever. Yet somehow they finished the full 160-meter monument. Here is the part no researcher has ever solved. The wheel is not a solid circle at all. Stone spokes connect the rings like a spider's web. 2 narrow gates break the 160-meter outer wall. One gate opens northeast, the other opens southeast. Those 2 directions are not random at all. They point exactly where the sun rises on June 21st. On the solstice, gold dawn light pours straight through the gate. For a few minutes each year, the wheel comes alive. These builders were watching the sky 5,000 years ago. They tracked the sun with a machine made of rock. Astronomer Anthony Aveni studied the alignments in detail. He found the gates once matched Sirius and the Pleiades. Those stars rose exactly over the 2 gateways. To Bronze Age farmers, that timing meant survival. The stars told them when to plant and when to reap. Miss the season, and the whole village could starve. So the wheel may be the oldest calendar in the Levant, a stone clock built from 42,000 tons of volcanic rock. It is an elegant, almost unbelievable idea. But there is a serious problem buried inside it. The Earth's axis has slowly shifted over 5,000 years. The stars that rose over these gates have drifted away. A 2024 study argued the alignments no longer hold. The ground itself may have rotated since 3000 BC. If true, the observatory theory partly collapses, and the mystery only deepens from there. If it was not a calendar, then what was it? Guess the width before I say it. Most people guess far too small. The outer ring spans over 150 meters, wider than 2 football fields. Now hold that scale in your mind for a moment. The dark central tomb offers a very different answer. It was added about 1,000 years after the outer rings. A powerful chief was likely buried beneath the exact center. Robbers stripped his body and his gold long ago. The whole 42,000-ton wheel became a monument to one dead man. We do not know his name, only silence and bare stone. The people who built it left no written word. Their language and their gods are lost to time. Only the 42,000 tons of basalt remained behind. A darker theory says the rings held the dead above ground. Bodies may have been left here for vultures and sun. This sky burial stripped the bones clean over weeks. Then the clean bones went into the central tomb. Many old cultures feared a corpse left whole and rotting. If true, this wheel was a machine for the dead. And still, no bone was ever found to prove it. Here is what makes Gilgal Rephaim truly unsettling. The monument may be all three things at once: a calendar, a temple, and a tomb, fused in stone. Bronze Age people rarely separated the sky from the sacred. The rising sun and the honored dead were one idea. Building it may have taken a full 100 years. Generations were born and died shaping this wheel. Then, around 2000 BC, the whole culture disappeared. Their villages emptied, their green fields returned to wild grass. Drought, famine, or invasion may have wiped them out. Whatever killed them, they left no survivors to explain. The wheel was abandoned and slowly buried by dust. For 4,000 years, it lay unread, a book with no reader. Compare it to Stonehenge, 4,000 kilometers away in England. Rujm el-Hiri is older and vastly heavier. Stonehenge holds dozens of stones. This holds thousands. Yet almost no one has ever heard its name. It sits inside a live military zone, hard to reach, so it kept its secrets while the world watched other ruins. Newgrange in Ireland catches the sun on December 21st. Nabta Playa in Egypt marked the sky 7,000 years ago. Across the Bronze Age world, humans watched the same stars. But none moved 42,000 tons the way the Golan builders did. Every year, researchers return with new instruments. Laser scans now map every block to the millimeter. Ground radar hunts for chambers still buried below. And still, the central question refuses to die. Why move 42,000 tons of rock for this? What did these people see in the turning night sky? We can measure the monument, but never their minds. They answered a question we can no longer even read. Each theory explains one part and fails the rest. The calendar idea dies when the stars drift away. The tomb idea dies when no body is ever found. The sky burial idea dies when no bones appear. Every answer collapses, and the wheel just waits. So Rujm el-Hiri stands as a machine with no manual, a 5,000-year-old riddle carved in cold volcanic rock. It tracks a night sky that drifted away after 5,000 years. It guards a tomb whose owner vanished without a trace, and it keeps every answer locked in 42,000 tons of basalt. The full story runs far deeper than one video can hold. The books that document this wheel are linked below, free with the trial. Look at the next overhead for 5 seconds and find the 2 hidden gates. Almost nobody spots both gates on the first try. This channel decodes one impossible ancient artifact every single day. From Baalbek to Göbekli Tepe, we break the mysteries archaeology avoids. Subscribe. And tomorrow's mystery arrives while this one still haunts you. Tomorrow, I crack open a new case, and you choose which. Option A, the Stone Age tunnels that run under half of Europe. Option B, the Roman concrete that heals its own cracks. The comments decide which secret I break open next. 42,000 tons of basalt still turn toward a sun that moved on.